I have just finished and broken a 48-hour fast. I did have a little bit of herbal, caffeine-free herbal tea with a little bit of cream in it on a couple of occasions. And I did drink 2 cups of bone broth for lunch. And I did it with my brother so that we kind of supported each other through the cause. And then I broke my fast this morning with some ham and cheese, and of course there was probably some sugar in the ham. It was smoked ham, but there was probably a little bit of sugar in that, and 2 pieces of bacon, and then I did have a rice cake with a little bit of almond butter on it. So that was my fast, and then shortly after that I did have a little bit of diarrhea. So yeah, I'm feeling really good. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Dr. Cammy Goes Keto, where I am very excited to report to you that I have just finished and broken a 48-hour fast. I did have a little bit of herbal, caffeine-free herbal tea with a little bit of cream in it on a couple of occasions, a few occasions, maybe 4 times in the 48 hours. And I did drink 2 cups of bone broth, one each day for lunch. So I don't know, that was okay with me. That was my plan, and I stuck to it. And I did it with my brother so that we kind of supported each other through the cause. And then I broke my fast this morning with some ham and cheese, crustless quiche that I made. And of course, there was probably some sugar in the ham. It was smoked ham, but there was probably a little bit of sugar in that. And 2 pieces of bacon. And then I did have a rice cake with a little bit of almond butter on it. So that was my fast. And then shortly after that, I did have a little bit of diarrhea, but that was it. So yeah, I'm feeling really good. And I just wanted to talk to you guys about the different stages of fasting. And I'm just delighted to say that this is where I am right now. This was like the final piece of my puzzle for helping myself get better metabolically, is to put in some decent fasting. And I've been thinking about this for about a year and a half and just have not really been able to do it. So this is really good news, guys, that I was able to do my 48 hours. So via Chat GPT, I'm going to just briefly tell you the 5 physiological stages of fasting. I thought that I had my obesity code book by Jason Fung upstairs here, but it's down in my garage. So I'm going to have to go grab it and maybe update you guys with this. But the one I'm most interested in is stage 3, which is the fat burning ketosis stage. Yeah. So there's some variation. The stages kind of overlap here because everybody's kind of different. But stage 1 is the postprandial stage where you just finished eating. That's about 0 to 4 hours after eating. And your blood glucose rises, your insulin rises, the body burns incoming food for energy, and there's no deep fat burning yet. Then and then stage 2 is 4 to 16 hours later after you eat, and the insulin levels begin to fall and fat burning begins gently. And hunger can appear to due to hormone shifts with the ghrelin waves that are coming and going. I didn't get really, really hungry until after 24. I started getting pretty hungry at around hours 28, 30. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it. I really wanted to eat something. And then I just had a little bit of broth, a little bit of tea with a little bit of cream in it. And then that passed. And then this morning when I woke up at 48 hours, it really wasn't that bad. So for me, you get to learn every time you get to do this. And even if you're just fasting for 20 hours, and that you previously was fasted for 16 or 18, and then you made it to 20 or 24, you get to learn how your body does it. And then stage 3 is the fat burning ketosis stage, which is 16 to 30 hours after you eat. And the glycogen is running low. The body turns to fat. Lipolysis increases, fat breakdown. And I believe that on general, you will lose a half a pound of fat for every day that you fast, which means that when I weigh in next Saturday, I'm hoping for at least 2 pounds of weight loss because, in theory, I lost a pound from just fasting for 48 hours. So at 16 to 30 hours, the ketones start to rise, mental clarity improves, and appetite often decreases. It was longer for me than 16 to 30 hours. It was more like maybe 30 to 32 or 36. And my appetite, for me to start decreasing my appetite. But I did notice that mental clarity did increase, but I was interested in sleeping a lot too, just because I didn't want to eat. And that could have something to do with my eating disorder too. And then stage 4 at 24 to 48 hours is deep ketosis and autophagy phase, which they defined autophagy here as cellular housekeeping. That ramps up. The damaged proteins are recycled, inflammation decreases, growth hormone increases, and insulin is at its lowest. So that's at about 24 to 48 hours. And they call this zone the magic zone, where your body begins repairing itself at the cellular level. So I was really happy to get to that. And then stage 5, the intense repair and immune reset phase. This is going to be my goal next time. This happens at 48 to 72 hours. So this is my goal next time, would be to either do another 48-hour fast, maybe a few more of those, and then hit a 72-hour fast where you're entering. I can't believe I'm saying this, you guys. I mean, a year ago, I couldn't go, 4 hours. If you're in this area of just kind of playing with it, keep playing, because stuff happens. You're entering more advanced fasting territory. Autophagy continues. The immune system starts to reset, and old immune cells are cleared out. Fat burning peaks and growth hormone spikes even higher. So that's at 48 to 72 hours. Longer fasts bring deeper healing, but they're not for everyday use. And then the prolonged fasting adaptation phase is 72 hours and plus. And that's not recommended for beginners or without supervision. And I'm definitely a beginner in this area. The gut rest is profound. Inflammation can drop dramatically. The metabolic rate may still remain stable. It doesn't really crash. And electrolytes need careful attention. So, yeah, it's important to pay attention to electrolytes. I was drinking some electrolyte supplement in my water that I really enjoy. It's called 40,000 volts. I got it on Amazon, and I turned my brother onto it. He got some for this fast. So I'll put that the link in Amazon for that. My girlfriend showed it to me when I was at the Symposium for Metabolic Health. And you want to be sure protein at the first meal is prioritized, which I did eat a good amount of protein in my quiche, ham and cheese quiche, and your carbs are extremely low. So I'm just really happy and really excited to say that I did 48 hours without any food. And for a girl with a binge eating disorder, that's a pretty big deal. And also today is I think day 51 of no binge, and it might be day 52. And, about day 43 with no sugar, no flour, and no caffeine. So I'm on the transformation. I'm beginning my transformation, folks. I'm really excited to have you follow it with me and see how things, feel and look in the future. All right, everybody, I'm going to pull out Jason Fong's book, The Obesity Code, and read up on this fasting stages and let you know if there's any changes on that. I'll send you the links to the 40,000 volt. All right, everybody, take care. Bye.